Good evening, everybody. This is at Greg Cowboys 1964, and this is Bill Carroll. How are you doing this evening, Bill?
We're getting to talk football, Greg, and obviously a lot has happened in the world of football in just the last 24 hours.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's been a whole big bunch of things that happened, including the passing of Lou Holtz. You see, I've got my Notre Dame sweater on and all that good sort of stuff. The man coached at William & Mary, North Carolina State, Arkansas, the Minnesota Golden Gophers, of course, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame and the South Carolina Gamecocks, as well as he had a brief history with the New York Nets. Very brief. Yes, the pro game in Lou Holtz did not get along very well.
No.
He, of course, was the last head coach to bring Notre Dame a national title, so may he rest in eternal peace is my feelings about Lou Holtz.
Yeah, there's been a lot said about him, and there will be a lot more said about him. Shout out to my friend Alex Brown. Lots of people can do Lou Holtz. My friend Alex Brown, who is now a scout for the Atlanta Falcons, does a Lou Holtz impression that Mr. Frank Caliendo would be proud of. But the impression, not to to sort of borrow or continue using that expression, that he left on college football beyond wins and losses is he was one of those people that changed the lives of young men. And that at one point used to be at least 50% of why people went into coaching at the collegiate level. I don't know if it's 50% anymore. The game has changed in some ways for the better and in some ways for the worse. But Lou Holtz was one of those young men because he started young. I mean, his playing career was rather nondescript. I have seen a little bit of his playing and then talked to people who played. Apparently he was about 151-pound linebacker. I don't know how that worked, but right. Apparently he was like maybe 152 on a good day in his days at Kent. But he quickly realized that his connection to football would not be as a great player, just as I had a similar realization, and he went straight into coaching and had a pretty rapid rise. I mean, obviously, if you're of a certain generation, you can't conceptualize of a young Lou Holtz, like this thing you can't mentally picture. But his coaching career got off very quickly. He was an assistant at some big programs right away, and was, I think, in his early 30s when he got his first head coaching job, I believe.
Yeah.
About 34, maybe, something like that. So I got to see young Lou Holtz, right? Having seen Lou Holtz coach at William & Mary, where my mother got her law degree, I am familiar with young Lou Holtz. And, he was never an innovator in terms of X's and O's, right? There were other guys, He
was a tremendous motivator.
That was exactly right. Exactly.
He was the motivator.
He was a motivator. He was
and he also shut down a bunch of guys at Arkansas in a playoff game.
Right.
And they still went out and beat. The guy really did follow the student athlete model.
Right.
And that is something that, of course, you've heard me say so many times, the student athlete is gone because of the NIL and all this other sort of stuff, and the NCAA's absolute weakness. But Lou Holtz was a student athlete proponent. And that, again, is something that the world will now miss.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So rest in peace, Coach Holtz.
Indeed.
John Candy also passed away on this day back in 1994.
Correct.
Yeah.
Another Canadian icon, and
one
of those people that
TV alumnus and all that good sort of stuff.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he's one of those people that like I can't find anyone who can say something bad about him, right? I mean,
Oh,
everybody, as far as I know, that knew him
yeah,
just said he was the kind of person that everybody gravitated to. He made everybody's day better, and
yeah,
we lost him far too young.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. So Randall is not going to be with us this evening because he is watching the Arkansas Razorbacks final basketball game tonight.
Yes,
So
he is.
he's live, and so he will not be with us tonight. However, we do have,
There we go.
yeah, Randall's offensive tackles.
We do.
So he has number 5, Max Ianker, Arizona State. He
Yep.
got Caleb Lomu, Utah, Spencer Fanu, Utah, Mr. Freeling from Georgia, and of course, the number 1 tackle in this class, Francis Muyoga.
Yeah. So that's the one I think we're all going to agree on. I think the big from 2 to 5 will have probably roughly the same names, but in different order. But everybody has number 1. Everybody I've seen so far has the same number 1.
Yes. Well, you have the fellow that Randall slipped into the guard situation last week.
Right.
At number 5, Mr. Dunker.
I get why people maybe don't love him, but but I think he can definitely play right tackle, and
Yeah,
not just because I've seen him do it, which I have, but there are still a few teams that just want to mash people physically, and if he
yeah,
goes to one of those few teams, he will not only be a good right tackle, he'll be a great right tackle. Now, if he goes to the Chiefs, then yeah, he probably becomes a guard.
no,
He probably becomes a guard. But if he goes to Seattle, if he goes to the Ravens, there's still teams that really want to just lean on you and beat on you. There's not as many as there used to be,
no.
but those teams still exist, and those teams still have success in the NFL. Once again, Caleb Lomu, who you're going to see everybody have somewhere in their top 5. I like Freeling, but not quite as much as a lot of people like Freeling. I think he's going to be a good player. I feel like he's kind of what he's going to be. He's a good player, but I don't
Yeah,
think there's a lot more left, right? And that's
no.
fine, right? I think he is what he's going to be, and what he's going to be is good. But
I think he's reached his ceiling.
I saved the last 2 for guys that I think have a lot that could still happen to them as players, particularly Max Iannacher. Once again, like so many immigrants, a guy who came to the game late, came to our version of football late, played basketball, played soccer, dabbled even a little bit with track and field, and then finds his way to football, I think around 16 or 17 years of age, and is basically spends the first year trying to figure out what are they doing and how are they doing it and how I put these pads on and all that stuff. It takes him basically 2 years, but by year 2, people are saying, oh, we've got something, right?
Yeah,
And so he goes from being this, large but confused gentleman to someone who I think has a chance to play at a Pro Bowl or all pro type level. Then obviously everyone agrees at number 1 because he has a combination of pure physical ability and also such a technician. And he's asked in their particular offense to do a lot of different things. He gets on screens. They pull their tackles at Miami. So we've seen him pull. We've seen him get on screens. We've seen him duo block. We've seen him do zone inside and outside zone stuff. We see him do almost everything. He's, with a few exceptions, of what he's going to be asked to do at the next level. So there's not a lot of projection involved, but you can still see that he's physically gifted enough that he may not be fully what he could be.
yeah, exactly. So my 5 guys, I've got Freeling down at 4 because I put in Caden Proctor. I think that
You're a brave man, Greg.
Yeah. I just, for his size,
I get it.
and I just think that there's so much more growth that he can have. Right?
If he goes to the Eagles, he'll be fine. Or who else has a really tremendous? Because even with Stoutland gone, they managed to get. I don't know who's in charge of hiring offensive line coaches for the Eagles, but amazing. they let Jeff Stoutland go, who may be the best offensive line coach in the NFL. Then they get maybe the second best offensive line coach.
Well, there's a guy down in Dallas who's also a very good offensive
Very
lineman.
good. Very good.
And boy, with Caden Proctor on the right hand side beside Tyler Booker, like he was.
Okay, there you go. Now you've got something, particularly if you want to run the ball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. His pass sets, I'm gonna be honest, Greg, still scare me.
I mean, he doesn't have that quick. He doesn't have the quick slide step. He doesn't have that.
No.
That's something that he needs to be taught, right? He needs to understand that you need to be able to get that slide step happening.
Yeah. The first time he adequately defends against a inside counter move will be the first time I've seen him do it.
Yeah. Again, if he was out there against Reggie White, he would be getting destroyed.
Oh my God! I don't think he'd go to Reggie White. I think Elvis Doomerville would give him a world.
Yeah, but again, Reggie White was always a guy that rushed on the inside and all that other jazz, right?
Oh.
But again, I've got Fano second and Muyaga number one.
Frankly, all of these guys, the only one that scares me, as I mentioned, is Proctor, just because the tape is, it's like 60% solid, 10% fantastic, and 30%. Oh my God!
Yep. But again, if you do take Caden Proctor, let's say the Cowboys draft all the defensive guys go early, right?
Right.
They trade 12 and 20. They move down, and Caden Proctor is sitting there. I'll take him. I'll take him down there. I would take him because Terrence Steele can't pass block either. He's horrifying.
You're not wrong about that. You're not wrong about that.
Horrifying.
I can argue that point.
Yeah, but again, we'll see what happens with Caden Proctor. The other tackles that we could talk about. Go ahead, Bill.
There's a lot of developmental-ish guys once you get past let's say the top 8, right? Most people's top 5 and maybe 3 other guys. And there's still guys to be had, guys who I think are going to be good. I think that, but like I said, at this point, now you really get a chance to get an idea of, now you're going to get a chance to earn your money as an offensive line coach. Once you get beyond those top guys. Some that, like Northwestern's, Caleb Tiernan, right? He's essentially like a best value Timu Sheen version of Freeling, right? He's everything Freeling is, but like 40% less. Not quite as explosive, not quite as powerful, not quite as quick, but he's going to be an NFL tackle, especially in this class. He's going to definitely stick in this class. And once again, right situation, right coaching, I could see him having a nice career. And we always talk about for quarterbacks and for some positions how much where you land matters. It's also still true for offensive linemen, people. Cage Casey is a guy that some people think can play tackle, some people think can play guard, and they're both right. I think that, once again, situation's everything. But if he goes the right place, right situation, he could end up being really good. Jalen Farmer's interesting, a bit of a project, but I could see him, once again, maybe year 1, he's a swing. And if he's coached well, year 2, now you throw him out there. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I see what we got going here now. I'm going to give you one of my favorite sort of raw adventure to watch him on tape, but there's stuff there to work with. The kid from Kansas. Hold on. Really athletic, but his tape is kind of a mishmash.
Are you thinking of Cruz Jr.?
Yes.
Cruz Jr.? Yeah.
Yes. Enrique Cruz Jr. is another one of those guys that, heck, he might even run a practice squad for a year before you bring him on to your active roster. But if you truly are, it's not quite like getting a guy from the Fiji Islands or something and teaching him football, but he is super raw. And he's been in an offense where he does some things that are radically different what he's probably going to be asked to do. But you can see the foot and hand, like the coordination. You can see that he's a naturally loose, limber athlete. You can see he's got power. You can also see that sometimes he doesn't know how to get places efficiently, right? He definitely takes more steps than it should take to do certain things. He definitely, leans out, too far sometimes. And, what we call in fencing, reaches with the parry, like there's times when he gets himself out of position, not even the defender, like he does it pretty much all on his own sometimes. Yeah, Cruz Jr. exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you for pulling that name.
I'll give you a different big boy tackle who actually has very good pass protection skills, but his running skills have not been all that great. Markel Bell.
Yes. Right. Markel Bell's got a little, yeah, people don't usually like the term finesse when they're talking about tackles, but he is a tremendous finesse tackle. Speaking of Boise State, there was another Boise State tackle that and actually made a fair amount of money in his career. What was his name again? He got a big free agent contract once and then kind of didn't quite live up to it. Oh, I can picture him in my mind. Really athletic, like really athletic. What was his name? But he looked the part, right? I mean, and same deal, right? I mean, you can look at him and say, okay, there's things here to work with. The problem is that, as you and I have said before, the amount of work you get done, contact work you get done, is at an all-time low, right? I mean, we're talking about how in the old days, in 1959, you go to camp and you tackle every day for a couple of months, right? And then you have like
twice a day, kids.
Right, twice a day. And then you have like 6 preseason games, and then you have a 12-game season, right? And so when people say, "Oh, I don't think Jim Brown would make it," or Lenny Moore would make it, they were going up against guys. They're going up against guys with PhDs in tackling, right? Now we're looking at guys who are trying to get like a certificate in tackling, and some of them didn't even quite qualify for it. So don't tell me those guys couldn't. Those plumbers they're playing against were expert tackles. They might not have been, as big or strong or whatever, or fast, but they knew how to tackle, to square up and put a shoulder into the back of your spine.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I'll say about this tackle class, everyone's talked about how athletic it is, and it is. It's a tremendously athletic group. I mean, that's not news. But I think a record low number of guys bench pressed at all. I think.
Yeah, and it was the lowest number I've ever seen.
I think the lowest one that I'm familiar with, and
I think the NFL Network also said it was the lowest number of people they've ever had at the combine. So
people love to say bigger, stronger, faster, whatever. Bigger, faster. I don't know about stronger. I think that maybe 20 years ago, these guys were stronger, or at least stronger in the upper body. Yep. So I think that we're seeing, because of the up tempo, because of the way the game is shifting, I think we're maybe seeing guys that aren't.
These guys are just wimps, Bill. They don't do 2-a-days. They don't bench press. They're all a bunch of wimps. I don't care if you're 315 pounds or not. If you're not in there bench pressing and hitting guys twice a day, no. I'm kidding. Demetrius Cronauer. Here was a guy who was down really low on the mock transfer earlier, and I'm going, what in the world? Because Mr. Elko is not Jimbo Fisher. He actually gets his guys who actually understand how to play the game.
Right.
And Texas A&M, he was a fine offensive lineman as well for them. Isaiah World.
Yep.
What's going to happen with Isaiah, because he's got that injury?
Well, I mean, that's the first thing, right? First, he has to get healthy enough, and then it's going to take him a while to get back into football shape. I think that when his time comes, he'll at least be a swing. There's a place for him in the NFL. Right? I mean, I promise you. I'm going to give you another guy who's, some people have listed as a guard, some people have listed as an RTO, right tackle only. I think he can play swing in the right system, and that's Fa'alele Fa'amo.
Yeah.
And unlike some of the guys in this class, he is powerful. He is strong. Like, he can move human people against their will into places they don't want to go. He's an absolute powerhouse, and I think he could be a guard if you want him to be a guard. But I'm not ready to give up on him as a tackle, particularly on the right side. I think he could be a high-level right tackle, especially in the right offense. I think that a guy like Dan Campbell would like love him in Detroit, right? He's like the kind of guy who would bite someone's kneecap.
Yep. Yeah, exactly right. What do you make of Diego Pounds and Keegan Trost from the Ole Miss
You
Rebels?
went to like
I,
two extremes there, right? You went to Mr. Pounds, who the aptly named Mr. Pounds, who as long as you stay in front of him will pound you, right? He's another guy that struggles with quicker guys, especially got quick guys who get him going one way and then make him go the other way, right? If you can get him going in one direction, then make him redirect. That's trouble for him. And then at Trost, you've got guys the whole other end of the spectrum. He's almost looks like a blocking tight end, right? He's kind of narrow-hipped, long-legged, smooth. But I wonder about. I don't think he bench pressed, but I would have been fascinated to see what he would have put up. I would have been shocked if he would have gotten over maybe the 22-23 mark. He looks like a guy who, has enough functional strength, but not exactly a powerhouse.
Yeah, exactly.
So I would have been fascinated to see what he actually would have done. But
so those are some guys out there though who will be taken in this draft later on.
All right, and they will make an NFL team. I mean, these are all the guys we've mentioned will make a team. Some of them will start. Some of them will be quality depth.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, let's move on to our edge defenders.
Let's.
All right. So
this is Randall's first.
This is Randall's first. He has Mr. Kamara.
I love Mikael Kamara. I don't have him in my top 5, but okay.
Yep. Well, again, Kamara, much like Keldrick Falk, had a much better 2024 than he did in 2025.
Correct.
So, again, kids, when we tell you to watch tape, we're not talking about just this year's tape. You go back and watch 2024, and you see a much higher production number from 2024 than you do 2025.
I think Kamara is never going to be a 9, 10, 11, 12 sack guy. But I think he could be a 5.5 to 7 sack guy who really sets hard edges and is terrific against the run.
Yeah.
Once again, a guy they love in Seattle.
Yeah.
I mean, he feels like a Seahawk, but there's a place for him. And like I said, I don't think he goes as early as some of the guys we're about to discuss, but he goes the right situation. I think he's probably guys on that 3rd, 4th round bubble. Yeah. But if he goes to the right team, he's going to be terrific.
The mock draft still have him way down as far as his overall number goes, which I guess that, again, those mock draft sites, they only focus on this year. They don't pay attention to what they've actually done over their career.
I guess, but I mean, I wouldn't let him pass about if he's there like pick 111, 112, and I'm picking like I'm not letting him continue. Like I can't imagine why would there are not 112 better football players in this draft class than Mikael Kamara.
No, exactly right. Our Mason Thomas, the Oklahoma Sooner, boy, that guy, he has some fantastic move.
He's got tremendous moves. He has enough power. Now, I'm going to date myself here. If you're a younger person, if you were born after about 1974 or so, you're probably going to want to make your way over to the internet. But I'm going to compare him a little bit to Fred Dean.
Bingo. Yep.
And that's what I wanted to compare him to. And I was like, well, the young people, forget the young people. I'm sorry. He's Fred Dean. I mean, he's very Fred Dean-esque. I'll put it that way. I don't know if he'll have quite that kind of career, but he has that kind of potential.
Yeah. And then he has Keldrick Falk at 3.
Wow. Okay.
David Bailey at 2 and Rueben Bain at number 1.
Yeah, his are fascinating. Okay. Yeah. I really wish you were here. I have questions for him. I like every single one of these players. Every single one of them is in my top 10. I don't have all of them in my top 5, obviously. But I'm very interested. Here's the thing about Falk, right? I think he's going to be a terrific player, and I think he's going to be a move around guy, right? The way that people use guys like Justin Tuck, the way you've used guys like Turk McBride, the way you've used guys like speaking of the Seahawks, Michael Bennett, right? Those guys that you move around and find matchups for.
Yep.
I think he's going to be that. If you think you're just going to sit him out, at left defensive end or just sit him at right defensive end, you won't quite get your. I think you won't quite get your money's worth out of it.
Yep. And here's your list, Mister Bill.
Yeah.
You have the Texas A&M, the guy who does not understand how to go into the dirt.
No.
However, Mr. Howell, he's a very, very good edge.
He is super twitchy.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
if he is, I would stand him up. Quite frankly, I'm not even. I mean,
Well, that's all he did. That's all he ever
right.
did.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like if you know what he is. So remember, speaking of, I keep talking about Seahawks. Remember Bruce Irvin? Remember Bruce Irvin coming out of West Virginia? Like I don't know. I don't talk about the Seahawks so much this evening, but if you use him when Bruce Irvin is being used correctly,
Yep.
right. So much of what players do or don't become comes down to usage. And if you say we're going to have this guy, make life hell for tight ends and 12. Here's the downside of playing all that 12 personnel is now I get to take one of my elite level pass rushers and line him up over one of your tight ends. And while there's a handful of tight ends that can handle that, I mean, literally a handful, the other 27 or so are going to struggle, Greg.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
The other 27 are going to struggle.
Jake Ferguson and Luke Schoonmaker. Okay, this is not going to be pretty. It will not be pretty. And then you have Mr. Jackas.
Gabe Jackas. Now, here's what I want to say. I realize that almost nobody else has him this high. I'm not sure why that is.
Actually, last year when he was potentially coming out, he was my sixth best edge last year. Sixth.
And I think he got better. I don't think he got worse. Yeah, but
right.
He's good against the run. He's extremely strong. Yeah. Like pound for pound, he's probably one of the strongest guys amongst the defensive line group. He's athletic. He's coachable. He has plenty of upside left. I'm not sure what it is that makes people not like him as much as I like him.
Because the Illinois Fighting Illini did not have that big of a season.
They had a good season. I mean, it wasn't a national championship run or something.
But again, they're not a team that's focused in the playoff run and all this other sort of stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
So again, he got left out. Really, he got left out.
He's a terrific football player.
I'll let you speak about Mr. Messidor.
Oh, Canada!
Thank you. The Canadian.
Yes. But by Patriot sons. But so Akeem Messidor is only this low because of age, quite frankly, and he's one of those players he is what he is. But guess what? I'm fine with that.
Oh,
he doesn't. If he improves 2%. I'll be thrilled, right? Yeah. Because he already is terrific against the run. He gets fooled by almost nothing. Right? He may be, in terms of football IQ, he might be number one on this list. In fact, might be. He is number one on this list in football IQ.
Yep.
He is strong enough. His hand skills, number one on this list too. Like he's the best hand fighter on this. He's got some Kyle Van de Bosch to him. Once again, I know I'm going way back a little bit, kids, but if you're 38 or 39, you probably know what I'm talking about. Anything less, make your way over to YouTube. But he's got some, and I think that's kind of the floor for him. I think Kyle Van den Bosch is the floor. I think he's that on up.
Yep.
And once again, maybe not a double digit sack guy, but a 7, 8, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, like year after year for like 7 or 8 years. And if he's done after, his rookie deal and then a 2-year extension, guess what? Most guys don't make it to that, right?
Yeah, exactly right.
I hear a lot of concern about age, and once again, at some positions, that concern is very much warranted. But I mean, I have to check the expiration on Von Miller, but Von's still trying to collect checks. So if you're an elite level pass rusher,
he's about to hit 37. So
right, if you're an elite level pass rusher, you can hang around even well into your upper, well past 30s. Okay, Rueben Bain Jr. I'm not too worried about arm length. Trent Cole was the guy I kind of comped him to, and Trent Cole even had longer arms than him. But the way Trent Cole won wasn't arm length based, right?
No.
He was a leverage machine, right?
Yep.
He was a leverage machine. And I think that could be the future for Mr. Bain. Once again, like Mr. Messidor, his running mate, terrific against the run also. And finishing up, of course, with David Bailey. He's basically a better version of Cassius Howell. All things about Cassius Howell, but better, right? A little more powerful, a little better against the run. And you can drop him into coverage. I've seen him do it. I don't think it's the best use of his skills, but you can do it. Both he and Cassius Howell can drop into coverage. I would do it occasionally just to mess with people, but
Cassius Howell in coverage is actually very good. He is actually very good in coverage. So my top 5, of course, I have Messidor, Keldrick Falk, Cassius Howell, Rueben Bain, and David Bailey. David Bailey, to me, is the number 1 edge in this class. There's just no doubt about it. Rueben Bain, if he falls to 12 and the Dallas Cowboys want him, I'll take him all day long. I could care less.
If Jimmy Johnson was still the coach, I could guarantee that'd be the pick.
Well, yeah, because Miami.
But also because he's the kind of guy that Jimmy Johnson would love.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely right. I mean, I don't care that his arms are short. His moves are tremendous. Right. He has the rip. He has the swim. He's got it all. He has every move that a good edge needs to have. Again, I wanted to put Messidor higher, but Keldrick Falk had to go higher for me because of his 2024 season. He had 7.5 sacks.
Yep.
Okay. Yes, the man can get to a quarterback. I just everybody was writing that guy off, and I'm going, why do you kids only pay attention to 1 year? I just don't get this.
He didn't miss my 5 by much. I think he ended up 7 for me. I like a lot of things about him. I just think he's not to me an elite level pure pass rusher, but he's gonna be a really good base end / guy you kick inside. Like when you go to your NASCAR dragster, whatever you call that package you put in those situations, he's gonna play 3-tech. Or 4-eye.
4-eye. And that's the reason why I've got him on my list, because all those 3-4 teams that are using the 4-eye guys are going to love Keldrick Falk.
Right.
Those are the teams that are going to love him.
Yep. Agreed.
That's the bottom line there. Let's talk about some of the other edge guys.
Okay. And then after that, it'll be time to add our guest.
Yes.
So it's a very deep class. And I think some people are only beginning to wake up to how good it is. I'm going to start with a player that did not get invited to the combine. And I'm frankly a bit offended they didn't get invited to the combine. And I'm going to start with Kelby Givens from Southern University. And all he did was be the best pass rusher in the HBCUs and one of the best in all of FCS 4 years running. As a freshman, he was terrific. As a sophomore, he was even better. As a junior, even though his prediction dipped a little because everybody was terrified of him, he still was great. And then he came back and had another great. He had, I guess he spent really 5 years, but over those 5 years, 4 years as a starter, his numbers were ridiculous and sick every single year. Sometimes ridiculously off the charts sick, sometimes just rather sick. But all he did was go out and produce year after year after year. The fact that he wasn't invited to either the Senior Bowl or the Combine will never stop bothering me. But I promise you, if the right team brings it in, we saw what James Houston did, speaking of the Lions again. If some team is smart enough to either draft him late or at least bring him in as a priority undrafted free agent, you will not regret it. I promise you, you will.
James Houston is now a Dallas Cowboy, but okay.
That's right. Right. But I'm talking about the team that first brought him in, though.
Yeah.
He made a name for himself with the Lions. That's what I was pointing at.
Yeah. So some of the other edge guys this year, LT Overton, Dennis Sutton.
Oh, Dennis, right, Sutton. Yep.
Sutton. I'm not as big on Barham as I am Derek Moore from
Penn State. Michigan.
No.
Michigan.
Yeah. That school that I hate.
Cool. Yes, that school. Right. Yeah.
Tyreek Sapp. Now here's a cat.
Yeah. Did you like Tamba Ali? Would you like another Tamba Ali?
Yeah.
Super powerful.
Super powerful.
Yeah.
The other Auburn edge. Crawford.
Yeah, he's going to play. He's going to be a rotational guy, but there's a place for him in the NFL for a nice long time. Yeah, I'm with you.
Malachi Lawrence. Wow.
think of people talk about winners at the combine.
Bingo, Malachi.
I think a lot of people were way too low on him, and now some people are going to be too high on him. And the truth is somewhere in the middle. You probably should go play in the like early 5th, late 4th. Some people have pushed him in the top 100. Some people had him as an undrafted, which is silly. The truth is,
I took him at 20 on the Draft Professor's Fanatics site because I did a show with Jim last weekend.
Oh,
and of course the Fanatics mode, you lose all the guys that you really want, right?
Right.
Oh no. Okay, I'll take Malachi Lawrence then. I don't care. He was one guy that I'll take him.
He's a fun player. He's a truly fun player.
Very good as well.
Another guy who's got the sort of age albatross around his neck because he's going to turn 25 before he takes his first snap as an NFL player is Dame Tucker from Western Michigan. If you once again mostly stand him up, move him around, he's going to be a really good designated pass rusher immediately right out of the box.
Exactly right.
I think about guys like Shaquille Barrett, right? Think about guys like Shaquille Barrett. That's the kind of player he could be. Let's look at his numbers, right? I mean, numbers aren't everything, but let's spend some time, just a moment, on these numbers. He averaged almost a sack a game, right? He had 12 solo sacks in 13 games. And then he also added 5 half sacks, we would call them. Just off the charts production. I guess the only reason he's not being discussed more is because, one, Western Michigan, and then 2, age. Sticking with the MAC, I'm going to spend some time on Nathan Voorhees, the second best pass rusher in the MAC. And a different kind of pass rusher also. And for certain teams, they may even prefer him, right? Partially due to not being as old, right? That would be one reason that might be. But also, I think his body type means that if you're a 3-4 team, you can play him at outside linebacker. And I think he's athletic enough to do it. Now, obviously, once again, he was not invited to the combine. Another guy that I think is just wildly silly that he wasn't invited to the combine. But 30 solo tackles, 12 sacks, right? 2 forced fumbles. I'll be shocked if he's not like a low 4.7, high 4.6 guy, probably about a 33.5, 34-inch vertical, probably going to have a 9.5 broad. He's probably going to put up 24 bench reps. I mean, he's going to have a good it'll be his pro day, obviously, but I think he's going to impress some people. I'll give you one more guy that I really, really like and I think has a shot to be something. Michael Heldman, sticking to the MAC. I guess it's all MAC time for me today. I mentioned other than Kelby Gibbons. I think Michael Heldman also is going to find his way into the NFL. And once again, maybe more of a rotational player at first, but in the right situation, I see him becoming a starter. A guy who can be a legitimate defensive end. You know, I think he could play in the low 270s without losing anything. And I truly feel that if he is the other guy, right? If you've got your elite, your Max Crosby, your Myles Garrett, or whatever over here, he can be that other guy. And as that other guy, he still might give you 4.5 to 6, sometimes in a good year, 7 sacks, and will be really good against the run.
Bingo. All right. So let's just see here how Jamal is doing.
There he is. Here's our guy.
There's Jamal. How are you, Jamal?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well. Thank you very much.
We are very happy to see you.
You are a Central Arkansas Bear.
Yes, sir.
Most people have no idea where Central Arkansas is. It's in Conway, Arkansas.
But they put some guys in the league.
Well, yeah,
but the league from UCA.
Most people have no idea where Central Arkansas. They don't even know. They don't even know Pine Bluff.
One of my favorite small school corners a couple years ago came out of UCA. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yeah. I'm old enough, Jamal, to have seen the most famous Central Arkansas Bear ever. Who is that man?
He played in Miami.
No. Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, he's going back to
Scottie Pippen. I was thinking football.
Yeah, I know.
Right, because I was thinking football at first too, Jamal. It's not just you.
Scottie Pippen was the most famous man to ever attend Central Arkansas.
Is true.
That is true.
Yeah.
Our men's basketball team actually just won their conference title.
Yep.
So.
Yes, that is. There you go. Big up your team, my friend. Big up your
And he
team.
was there.
Yep.
He was there. He came and attended. Scottie
Yep.
Pippen did. That's
Yep.
pretty cool.
He was always. I'm a North Carolina fan, except I'm not a big fan of Jordan. I'm not.
So am I.
I loved Scottie Pippen's play though. I loved him.
Yeah.
He was fantastic.
Yeah, I'm a huge Carolina fan as well.
There
I'm
we
from
go.
Hickory,
Tar
North Carolina.
Tar Heel
There you are.
Black, Tar Heel Bread, and when I die, be a Tar
Tar
Heel.
Heels, Hornets,
North Carolina, go Heels, go.
Exactly. Jesse Holley, of course, is also a former UNC basketball and football player.
Right. Like Julius Peppers.
Yep. Jesse, of course, did win a national title.
Yeah.
With the Tar Heels. But yeah, so okay, so we don't like Duke University then, right?
No.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
See, there you go, right?
I went and watched them play, I think it was 22 when they played in New Orleans against each other in the Final Four.
Yep.
I went and watched that. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask a couple of quick questions because I know you have some pretty impressive defensive tape. How did you end up on the other side of the ball?
Yep.
Yeah, I came into UCA. I was about 6'4", 230, 240, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
I think I was actually listed at like 260, but I was smaller than that when I got to campus. I played defensive end.
Yeah.
Under Tony Davis there. And basically I played a little bit. I played like one game my freshman year, and then moving into that next phase, spring ball and such, they asked me to move down and play some defensive tackle,
right?
Which I was not thrilled about because I enjoyed being on the edge. So I gained a little bit of weight, did that part, went through summer workouts, went through most of fall camp, and then we had about a week and a half left of fall camp. My head coach texted me and said, meet me in his office.
Oh boy.
And I was like, well, I don't know what I did. If I did something wrong, I have no idea. And he goes, how would you feel about playing offensive line? And I was like, well, I feel like I'm doing pretty well, or I'm on pace to at least get a little bit of playing time this year, and it's only my second year. So I feel like, I kind of want to ride this out. He's like, okay, just give it some thought, that's all. And a couple days go by. I get another phone call from him, says meet me in his office again. And he goes, well, basically there's a white jersey in my locker, and he'll see me out there with the offense today. So, at the time I was a little feeling some type of way about it.
Right.
But honestly, it's been the best thing for me. I've had a great experience, Ever since that point, I've pretty much played in just about every game since then UCA has played in. So I've played a ton of football because of that, that decision that I made, or that my coach made for me. So and I got a great relationship with my O-line coach there now. So,
and in addition to having, some sacks and interception back in your, in your high school days as a defender, I believe you also dabbled a little bit in track and field.
Oh no, I didn't. I wasn't in track and field. I played basketball.
Basketball. Okay. So tell me about you as a basketball player. What was your game like?
I did a little bit of kind of everything. I was mostly just like known as like the big man who could shoot. So that was kind of like my game. I shot the ball pretty well from pretty much anywhere on the floor. Okay. So that was kind of just like my game. Defense and being able to shoot the ball and passing. So I wasn't really – I would get low sometimes, but that wasn't really necessarily kind of my game. I was more of just a shooter, and I would get low sometimes. I had decent feet, which is obviously translated into O-line play. And I had a lot of fun. A lot of the guys I play with play college ball, so we were a fun group. They had a lot of fun playing basketball. So yeah, it was extremely blessing, and I feel like it helped me for football, the footwork aspect, being in shape, conditioning. So
Well, my final question, I'll let Greg have at. In terms of if you could show someone a game that you think best exemplifies who Jamal was in his time at Central Arkansas, what game would you put up? What game and why? Why that game?
that's a tough question.
Good.
I think I get a caveat. I think I would pull up. I think I would say 2 games, and I would say watch them back to back, and just because I would say 2023 Oklahoma State is when I made my first career start at UCA. The year before I played in 9 games, 10 games, but I was rotational at tackle. I wasn't, I didn't start every game, but that was my first career start, and I played tackle the year before, and then I transitioned to playing guard. And watched that game, and then watched my first game this year against Missouri, where I played tackle and guard in the same game, and just the improvement from 2023 to 2025, and just my movement ability and stuff like that. I think those are 2 games for sure. But one game to watch, in my opinion, is probably Missouri. It was one of my
Bingo
better games this year. I played very well against guys that would be considered.
A couple of guys are going to play in the NFL. Yeah.
So
yeah, perfect. Missouri was certainly a game that I had watched you in because you played both guard and tackle. Which spot do you actually prefer? Do you like being the guard, or is it more tackle?
I enjoyed playing guard. I played tackle out of necessity for the team this year, but I play guard. That's primarily my position. I feel like that's what suits me best, especially being a longer guy. 6'5", 6'4.5", whatever you want to say. Being able to get out in space and stuff, and a lot of pulling, or at least on our offense, we did a lot of pulling. So I enjoy that stuff. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, exactly right. We had the offensive lineman on last week as well, and I asked him, I'll ask you the same question. When you start off a game, do you want to run the football or do you want to pass protect? What do you prefer to do?
Run the football. I mean, that's easy.
Bingo, right?
That's hard.
I don't understand.
Bread and butter. Get a bread and butter play. Little inside zone.
You guys want to attack the defense instead of being attacked by the defense to start off the game, right? I mean, it's 100%. Just plain and simple. I don't get it. I don't get these guys who think that you got to throw that football right off that. No. Tony Dorsett and Emmitt Smith have, rushed for almost 30,000 yards in the NFL, and they ran the football. Yeah. Bottom line, right?
Okay, I semi-lied about not having any more questions. Do you have a favorite block that you like to watch and rewatch on tape, where you just absolutely wipe somebody out?
I think some of the most impressive blocks by an offensive lineman, in my opinion, is like getting out on screens and reach blocking. Like those are just the most impressive. Like being able to be 300 whatever pounds and blocking a guy in space is extremely impressive. I mean, people don't understand how impressive that is. There's somebody that big moving that way, and cutting somebody off or getting in. I just think it's a really amazing just watching some of the athleticism on display, especially in the NFL. So
yeah, bulls on parade, as Brian Baldinger often says.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly right. Who did you give the best pancake job to then?
The best pancake out to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
who'd you absolutely lay out?
Who did you lay out?
Well, oddly enough, I think my best one ever was 2023 against Oklahoma State. We ran a screen and the corner was coming down to make the play on the receiver and never saw me. Just completely laid him out. And it was one of those where if you listen to it on like the TV copy, I hit him so hard you can hear it, like
Hear it.
the clack of his pads when I hit
Yeah.
him. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome.
And you had a tackle in that game too, right?
Yeah, I did have a tackle in that game.
You can take the defender out of the lineman. You can't make the. You can take the lineman. Wait, hold on. You can take the lineman out of the defender, but you can't get the defender out of the lineman. There we go.
That's right. That's right. Exactly right.
So yeah, that game was very, very up and down. We had them on the ropes though, so I mean, we were in that game for a majority of the game.
For that was a very close game actually.
Yeah, we were in that game.
Yeah, and now of course Mr. Gundy's gone. Oh well,
Yeah,
I'm really heartbroken to see that. But yeah, because I'm a 40-year-old man. Okay, buddy. Yeah, all right.
Well, we'll talk the backstory of that some other time.
Yeah.
So you are now in the process, as you said, you're a guy who's played a couple of different positions. That helps you. I don't know if you ever tried messing around playing center at all, but if you can be a backup at 3 different positions, you'll be in the NFL until you decide you don't want to play anymore.
Yeah, I've been here. I'm here in Plano, Texas, training and stuff, and that's one of the things that I've been working on. Is just center, just being able to snap and stuff. And I did some during the season, just kind of in endo drills and stuff, but not any, necessarily live reps.
Right.
So just making sure that I have that ability to just snap and practicing it almost every single day. So getting pretty consistent. So that's the biggest thing. So yeah, it's been good, and I definitely feel like I'm one of those guys who can do a little bit of it all. So
it's great.
And obviously I've showcased that all the seasons I've played at UCA, and I'm also available, and that's another biggest thing. Like I played in 36 straight games.
Right.
I've not missed a game. I've never missed a game. Like if I hadn't played, it's because I wasn't coach decision. But
right.
So availability is another thing that's huge at this level. So.
Oh, it's very huge.
Now, do you think it's because of your flexibility? Because I can see in your playing style, and maybe it's genetics, maybe it's your basketball background, but you're not one of those guys who's like tight. You clearly move well. You clearly change direction well. To what do you attribute the fact that you're so limber?
I would say, honestly, one of the biggest things that I learned early in my career here, or career at UCA, was that, being able to stay healthy is a skill. And so I really focus on taking care of my body, like big time. Like going, we have workouts on Sunday. I'm going to get an extra workout in. It may not be like a crazy workout or anything, but it may be just getting my body moving around, getting those fast twitch muscle fibers moving and stuff like that. And then like Tuesdays we have practice. I'm going and working out either before practice or after practice. Same deal, pushing some weight, staying heavy. Just all those little things matter because your body, especially playing this position that we play, like you're going to be in so many compromising positions, not even, no fault of your own. So whether you're falling on a pile or someone's falling on you or, whatever it is. So being able to be flexible and taking care of all your, small twitch muscles and joints and stuff plays a big factor into being available all season long. And obviously, I've had some injuries, but
just played right.
Just played through them, and a lot of them weren't magnified because I do take care of my body and I am pretty flexible. So,
yep.
Awesome. All right. Here's the toughest question. What is your favorite meal?
Favorite meal?
And if he comes out and says the steak, I'm gonna. Don't.
We'll see.
No, I'm not a huge steak. I like steak, but I'm not a huge steak guy.
All right.
I don't know. I think favorite meal, like if I was going like to cheat, cheat meal
Right,
deal,
cheat.
like
Yep.
two just like nice juicy two double burgers with some cheese, some sauteed onions on there,
Mhm.
little mayo, little ketchup. That would be like my go-to, and some sweet potato fries,
There you go.
There you are.
and then top it off with a brownie from Insomnia Cookie with some ice cream on it.
There
NIL
you are.
deal clip.
Yes.
Insomnia Cookie is fire. That's my favorite. Like it's the best.
Yeah.
Like I told my fiance that's the first place we're going after my pro day. I was like, I've been grinding for 9 straight weeks. Like,
And when is your pro day?
March 17th.
March
17th. Okay.
So in a week and a half, I think. So
Yeah.
We'd love if you could provide us with an update. So I can have accurate numbers, and I'm, when we build out your profile, and then 2, we can celebrate a little bit because I think you're going to test better than people are expecting.
Yeah, I'm honestly, being here, training with John Costa here. He's been amazing, and I feel like I'm going to have some very solid numbers. So just for the things that matter, in my opinion. So, and we'll just go out there and put my best foot forward, and hoping that teams see that, and be joyful, be cheery, and greet everybody.
What are you weighing in at today?
I was 313 today, so
13. Yeah,
quite a bit down from my CGS Bowl check-in. I was about 340 there.
Yeah.
So
And I was going to say, how did you get to 340?
Honestly, I mean, I saw your ring, and you're married, and I have a fiance, and I'm half of the way there here. So listen,
she cooks,
good times, and with her family eating out. So
got it. Okay.
And I was kind of in limbo. I wasn't really I needed to take a breather. And I got back on track, and right after the CGS Bowls, when I kind of locked back in.
You look back like the guy I saw on tape. Yeah, you let some of the air out.
Yeah. So I was pretty big then.
Yeah.
So I had to get back to right. So I'm planning to be around somewhere 310-ish. I may drop a few more pounds, may get to like 307. Somewhere in that range is kind of what I'm aiming for. So just to test well, and then I'll beef back a little bit back to probably around 320, what I was during the season. I feel like that's a good plan weight for me.
Yeah.
So
exactly right. How do you feel about coming up to Canada?
I have heavily considered it, and I would love, I think the CFL is amazing to play in. I have a few of my buddies, well, not few, but one of my good buddies who plays up there, and he loves it. He's been up there for 3 or 4 years, I think now. He played for the Red Hawks, or the Red Hawks?
Red Blacks.
Red Blacks, yeah, Red Blacks.
Ottawa.
And
Ottawa Red Blacks.
Ottawa, yeah. And he just got signed to a different team now. So, but from what I understand, as far as like CFL goes, a lot of times they, like for American offensive linemen, like they're only going to sign you like for playing tackle.
Yeah, the guards generally are mostly Canadian.
Yeah, so that's from what I understand. So I would have to wind up playing tackle, which I'm completely fine with. That's just one of the things that I've saw regarding that. So
yeah.
And I've been offered a few from like the COFL, the Continental Football League.
Yeah,
a few different teams from there to play in the summer here. So it's kind of like my, hopefully I get a rookie mini camp invite somewhere in May, that first week of May, second week of May, whatever it is. And then, if that falls through, I will go do that at least until July. So I'll at least play football till July, and then, just kind of see what happens from there and keep my hat in for the UFL when it comes back open in October. So.
Right. Yeah, exactly that.
And your versatility and your athletic ability means that somebody somewhere is going to say, let's bring this guy in. Now, obviously, I'm sure you've been told this by all your friends who've played in the league or have even been to a camp. It goes by fast. Reps are incredibly valuable. Don't blink. Don't be tied your shoe, right? I mean, and the smart guys even find ways to like kind of steal an extra rep, right? You see somebody's not paying attention and somebody's waving, you run in there instead. But no, I meant whatever. You're in there, you'll see what I'm talking about soon enough. That like every rep you can get, every chance you can get, you gotta take it. It's no friends until you get on a roster. You've obviously played. We talked about Oklahoma State. We talked about Missouri. In terms of the guys that you faced in a game you thought were the most impressive, who are those guys? Who are the guys that you said, okay, I earned my scholarship this game?
Well, I'm going to tell you what. I earned my scholarship every practice that I had.
There it is.
Yes,
I love that answer.
I mean, we had the best defensive end in the country on our team. So,
right.
You're
not wrong.
You know what I mean?
Tell me about that, though. Break him down. Like, give me a scouting report.
Yeah.
I don't think, just being 100% honest with you, playing that guy every day, seeing him, there's not been a single defensive player I've played my entire career that has been nowhere near the ability that he has.
Yep.
Like, obviously, we played SEC guys. I played, I played Ole Miss when we played Ole Miss. I played Missouri. I played Oklahoma State. I played Arkansas State twice.
Yeah.
But none of those guys were – those guys are David Walker. They may have been longer, bigger, 6'6", 6'7", a couple of them. But, I mean, the stuff that he can do, not a lot of guys can do. And, I hate that he tore his ACL, all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
That sucks, coming into this season. But he's still there. And I'm sure that he's going to get a ton of time coming up this year. But, I mean, as far as scouting report, I mean, you take away his speed, he'll hit you with power. You take away his power, he'll hit you with speed. I mean, he kind of can do it all.
Right.
So he really challenges your technique, and the best way that we all found, going against him every day is a little different, opposed to just playing him on the weekends. But we just found that throwing a bunch of different things at him, just a bunch of different moves, as far as like what we have in our arsenal, like fake hand, throw hand, stuff like that. Change up your punch timing to, instead of you go outside pillar, you'll kind of do like a small inside under or outside underhook on him. So you change up that surface area on where you're punching. Just small things like that, which is that's like I said, going against him every single day, the small things. Just trying to find different ways to get an edge. So,
yeah, you're right. He's a special dude. And once again, I'm going to age myself a little bit, but you have to go. For me, I had to go back to Robert Mathis to find another, FCS end who I thought had that kind of ability to just, as you said, beat you so many different ways.
Well, what about there was Jalen's Hunt. Jalen's Hunt. He played at Houston Baptist, right?
Yeah. Jalen's Hunt's good, but he's Robert Mathis. No offense to Jalen's Hunt.
He wasn't going to touch Robert Mathis. I'm sorry.
Robert Mathis is a borderline NFL Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I was just saying he was just another guy, FCS guy that I know that's really, really played well. And played well.
Yeah. And my fiance, so we're talking about fiancés, is an Eagles fan, so she's a big Jalen's Hunt person. But and then who do you like to watch in terms? I mean, I guess you watch guards and tackles. But you can tell me, whoever it is that sort of inspires you or you like to watch.
I really, as far as a few different things, I like to watch Georgia Tech's offense.
Huh.
That is my favorite offense in the country to watch. I'll tell you why. Because they run a ton of different variations of gap scheme, and it is beautiful.
Right.
Very beautiful. QB power, QB counter. They do some misdirection counter. They do a whole bunch of different stuff. They do same side counter. They do some G lead stuff. They do a ton of stuff that's phenomenal. I really love to watch it. So I watch them a lot during the season. That's kind of like my, kind of what I like to watch. And other than that, I'm a big fan of like Trey Smith, just because I feel like that is a similar style to what I bring to the table. Just a violent guy in the run. And just an anchor when pass pro. And then a few other guys. I mean, obviously, growing up, I watched a ton of Trent Williams. He's arguably one of the best to do it.
Yep.
If not the best.
I don't think it's an argument to be had. He's much the best ever to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
those are two good guys to watch. Yeah. Well done. Mr. Mull, you have very good taste. And ditto to you on that fun Georgia Tech offense. It reminds me, speaking of Georgia Tech, a little bit of some of the stuff Wisenhunt did in his days as an offensive coordinator with the Tennessee Titans. And it reminds me a little bit of some of the stuff Ben Johnson does, both in his time with Detroit and his time with the Bears.
Yeah, that was another team that I typically watch on. So I have NFL Plus, and you can watch like all the the Lions are another team that I would typically watch and break down like their film, their individual film. I like watching them too.
I'm smelling some coach / evaluator vibes now from you, Mr. Mull.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm big into just like analytics and all that kind of stuff. So I like learning all that stuff, which probably explains a lot of why I got my master's degree in applied mathematics. So,
so I think there might be a role for you, when finally your body says we've had enough. I think there's a role for you in somebody's front office somewhere.
Yeah, and it's funny enough you said that because I was just on a Zoom call last night with a former Falcon scout. My agency just set it up just to chat with us to figure out, make sure we know what to expect pro days, what to expect going in, and all that stuff. Just, information and stuff. And that was one of the questions I asked him is like, how do I get in contact with these guys and let them know, hey, like, if I don't get signed with a team or stuff don't work out, like I may not have a whole lot of coaching experience, but I know how to get it done. So I would love to work.
Sell yourself.
Don't forget about becoming a scout either. Don't forget about becoming a scout. If you have the analytics, you understand all that aspect. Start with scouting. If they don't give you a graduate assistant job as a coach, go scout.
Yeah.
And a lot of the best coaches at least spend a little time scouting, right? That's part of why Flores has been as successful as he has. He has scouting in his background. If you can do both, right? Because it enables you to be that bridge between the coaching staff and the scouts. Because a lot of times we could do a whole show on this about how different teams, work through their process of finding players. But there are some teams that, frankly, one of the issues they have is they don't always have a common language spoken by their scouts and their coaches, which you would think should not ever happen. But
it does.
I've come by to tell you it does. There are some teams that have a bit of a disconnect, blanking battle, whatever term you want to use, sometimes breaks out at certain points in the evaluation season where, the scouting group, says, hey, this is why this kid's a better option for us. But the coaching has fallen in love with some other player. And then there's, some teams have like a way they work that out, right? They say, hey, you bring in clips, you bring in such and such, we're going to bring in our stuff, and we're going to work towards, resolving this. And then some just have a guy that comes in and says, you guys are right, you guys are wrong. There's some teams where it's that simple, right? There literally is a guy that comes in like with a baseball bat, slightly exaggerating, and says, nope, you guys shut up.
I'll give you the 1998 Philadelphia Eagles draft. Do you know who ran that draft? Brian Broaddus.
Right.
And that man understands how to scout people. He did not have a single coach with him. Not one coach. He lost half of his scouting staff.
Right.
The guys that remained in him picked that 1998 Philadelphia Eagles team, and you go back and look at that draft, that's how you scout players. Bottom line. And of course, the guy started off with Green Bay.
Right.
Then he went down to Dallas, and he had a falling out with Bill Parcells, and now he's just DLS and Crown Global Media now. But that man understands the scouting game.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have a lot of opinions on like scouting stuff, but I think it's pretty simple when you boil down to it. I mean, there's like three main categories for me, at least. Like when I think about a player. Any player that I'm like, if I'm scouting a player on the defense, if I'm scouting, whatever it is, and it to me, it kind of applies to everyone. Is it's like, can they do it? Can they do what their defense or offense is asking them to do, like in that system? Because that matters. And does that system translate to what you want to do with them? Because for some players, it's really dependent on systems and what's, attains to their attributes and stuff like that. And then the third thing for me is just how good of an athlete are they and learning and listening and all that stuff, which that part is you have to see them in person and be there in person to know that or know about them. So it's like just generally when I'm scouting a player, like watching guys at the combine when they go through after they get done with reps, how they act, all that stuff. So all that stuff matters.
Yeah. But again, it's the scouts out there who are talking to your assistant coach. These are the guys who do the work. The NFL coaches have no clue who you are. They have no real idea unless you're a number one guy on the ESPN. The NFL coaches have no idea. And it drives me off the deep end when I see Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn taking Mozzie Smith and Luke Schoonmaker, and I'm going, what are you two guys doing? Are you kidding me?
Well,
that's just the coaching interference with what needs to happen on a football squad. That's simple fact to me. Jimmy Johnson scouted players.
Yeah, he was a great advisor.
When he came into the NFL, he understood what he was looking for, why he was so successful at the draft, et cetera, et cetera. Because the guy was
a pretty darn good evaluator too. Yeah.
Yep. But so few of these guys understand that aspect of the scouting mind. They're so few of them. And it drives me off the deep end when this guy says, I want this player. You don't understand. You don't understand. That player doesn't get off the football. Mozzie Smith. No, the guy was never in the backfield. He was never there. Yes, he was a strong guy, and he could stand up to the running game and the college game. But as a pro, not a chance. Not a chance. Yeah.
But Jamal, we could keep you here all night, and we will let us. But I do want one. Please do shout out your representation who helped you get where you are. Who is it that's currently representing you?
Jet Sports Agency.
Excellent. And you mentioned that you're in beautiful Plano, Texas, working out with
PMST.
There it is. Well done.
It's right there on the shirt.
There it is on the shirt. And as a man who is affianced, soon to be married, shout out your fiance. You are going to be married to
Anna Joy Allen. Yes, we're getting actually married. I'm having my pro day on the 17th. I'm getting married on the 21st.
You don't mess around.
So
there you go.
Yeah, we're getting after it. Right after my pro day, we're gonna be down, and then we're going on a honeymoon for a few days, and then coming back and getting right back to work.
Okay.
So
now, does she? You said that you and her family ate a lot together. Is she also good at getting you motivated to burn off some of what you've put on?
Yeah, so I played at UCA. She ran track at Arkansas State.
Oh yeah.
So she's an athlete as well. So
Awesome.
yeah, she's very good at keeping me accountable in various ways. So
I love it.
more so just telling me that I'm being soft today, and that I got to get it together. So
what you're telling me is that you are chasing her BMI, right? You're trying to get to her.
oh yeah, hopefully, yeah. I'm morbidly obese, as they would put it on BMI scale standards. So,
but you move well, and like I said, I know that you have the right people around you. So our last two asks. One is, please give us an update, as you said before, when you get your pro day results, and don't let them tell you they can't give them to you, because that's a lie.
That's
they can
right.
give them to you.
Yeah.
They may not want to. They may not like doing it, but yes, they can and they should. And I have a whole rant about that, but I won't do it here now.
Yeah.
I will not do it here now. And then two, day 3 of the draft, we'd love to have you come back and join us. Hopefully, somebody calls your name. But if it ends up that you are part of that frenzy of phone calls right after the draft, please let us know, who wins, who signs you, and where you go.
Yeah, I definitely will. I feel pretty good about it, honestly. I feel like, I went and played in the CGS Bowl, and like I said, in January and stuff.
Right.
Played pretty well, for the most part. So
you did it despite the fact you apparently were full of expensive desserts at the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was still in good shape. Like, I still felt I wasn't, sluggish or anything. I just was on the heavier side.
Right.
But I felt good about that really well. Got some a few teams interested, I guess, from that stuff. Obviously, I told you about the COFL gig.
Yep.
And so, and I've been filling out some more questionnaires as they've come and seeing what teams are going to be in my pro day. So I'm excited. I'm really excited about the opportunity, and just going to go and give it everything I got and let the Lord take care of the rest. So
exactly. Have any teams specifically asked to get tape from your school or things like that?
So during the season, I had a few come. Mostly it was I had the Vikings.
Okay.
They were the first, I believe. The Bucks, the Giants. They came all during the season. It kind of sucked because they came. I hurt my ankle that week, so they came when I didn't practice. But it was kind of just, I took 2 days off our third week because I had pretty high, just an ankle sprain.
Right.
I was just recovering from, and then after that, I think there was one or two more. I can't quite remember. I think maybe the Saints came, and then as far as after the CGS, I've had the Seahawks, the Cowboys, the Chiefs.
Well, being the Cowboys fan, Mr. Hoffman's no longer with the Cowboys, so there is a spot. There's a spot available, Jamal. There's a spot available,
Yeah. Hey, I'll go wherever will have me, wherever will give me opportunity. So.
What was the team that you watched growing up?
So I'm a Panthers fan. I'm Carolina everything. So I'm a Panthers fan. I'm a Hornets fan. The Hornets are playing some good ball right now.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
Now, how did you become Carolina everything? How did that play out for you?
So I was born in Hickory, North Carolina. So North Carolina native. I wound up moving to Tennessee when I was younger.
Got it.
But I wound up playing high school ball out in Tennessee before I moved to Conway. But I'm a Carolina through and through. I'm about an hour-ish from Chapel Hill, not that far.
Yeah.
I actually lived in Chapel Hill as a little kid. Yeah.
No, you're exactly right. You're an hour away. But when I was because I was a former United States Marine Corps member, and I didn't go out to North Carolina until 89.
Raleigh? Is it Raleigh up there? Is where the base?
Raleigh.
No. There's Camp Lejeune.
But you were at Lejeune, yeah.
Oh, Lejeune.
Camp Lejeune, right? But everywhere I went. This is before the Panthers came around, right? Everywhere I went, it was Cowboys. Everything. Holy crap! I was just like, I'm in heaven. It was everywhere. Cowboys,
Yeah.
Cowboys, Cowboys.
Yeah, well, part of that is the rivalry with the state of Virginia. Virginia being obviously
Yeah.
a place where Washington was the
Yeah.
dominant
Oh,
franchise.
yeah.
So
They despised the
I'm aware. Yeah. So I was born in Philadelphia, but grew up
Yeah.
in Virginia, but lived in North Carolina from 1970, 71 into 72. And we moved back a little before 73. So late in 72, we moved back to Virginia. And so, yeah, I used to, often get into like shouting matches with my young friends. And, was crestfallen, and then, one year Washington made it to the Super Bowl, but unfortunately ran afoul of the undefeated and undefeatable Dolphins in Super Bowl VI and got absolutely dominated. But you didn't come here to hear about my problems, Jamal. First of all, I want to thank you so much. Your football intelligence shows on film, but talking to you, right, off the charts. There's a place for you in football, I think, on the field for a good little while, but there's a place for you in football, period. Yeah. Football needs you. Football needs people like you that not only love the game, but really understand it at a high level. And there's a place for you in multiple places in the game, Jamal.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely feel like I'd be around football for the rest of my life in some capacity. So,
Agreed. Yeah. Thank you so much once again for your talent, your time, your attention, your patience, and your sense of humor.
Yep. Yes, appreciate it.
All right. You take care.
All right. Y'all have a good one.
You too.
All right.
I know I say this a lot, but I really like him.
Oh yeah, he's an excellent young man. I mean, he just, even in the messages that I sent to him and stuff, he was just a super nice man. And again, he was bang on the mark. If NFL teams have not paid attention to him playing against Missouri,
what are we doing?
What are you doing?
I mean, he's impressive on tape a lot, but that's a great game to like clip and focus on, because that defensive line that Missouri trots out there, 60+% of it's going to play in the NFL.
Jeremiah Trotter was, he's going to be a second round linebacker. I don't care.
They've got a lot of dudes who are going to play in the NFL on that defense.
Yeah. And he played very well in that game.
He had a great game, correct.
But again, I remember him when he was talking about the Oklahoma State game. That was one game I was actually watching on YouTube live, and they almost beat them. Oh,
correct.
Yeah. But again, we'll see what happens with Jamal.
Yep. Well, some smart team on whatever side of the continental divide or whatever side of the border will have themselves a real asset.
Oh, absolutely right. So that's going to be it for this week, folks.
Yes, sir.
Please do sign up for our YouTube channel and like our program here. That's how us small guys survive.
Yes.
And everybody take care.
See you in 1 week.